It's time for peaceful change. Doing harm to someone when they're unable to defend themselves will not bring equality, just as violence will not bring peace and hatred will not lead to love. Let us remember who we truly are. We are one heart, united by love, not separate beings divided by fear and hatred. Welcome, everyone. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and today we're going to talk about peaceful change. As a society that is moving toward enlightenment, we are struggling with the dark underbelly. And so many of us think that the only way forward is to absolutely annihilate the darkness. But I am here to remind you that the dark will be with us always. Jesus, one of our greatest leaders, reminded us that the poor, the sick, the people who have chosen not to get into alignment with God will always be with us. But what we must do as leaders in the spiritual community, as those who have actively chosen to reach the promised land of enlightenment, we must keep looking toward the light and keep expressing the love that we feel in our hearts for absolutely every being. This does not mean that we can condone or turn a blind eye to any injustice that we may see. However, we do not need to react with violence or hurt when we see that injustice. Instead, we must always look toward the light and do the right thing to bring about change peacefully. So let's take a look at what St. Francis has to share with us today. He is one of the greatest leaders toward the peaceful movement that is existing in the energetic realm right now. Dr. Martin Luther King was another example of a peaceful leader, one who never advocated violence as the way to make change. So, keeping that in mind, that we are hearing from St. Francis, who achieved peaceful change and had a very dramatic time getting there, and we won't discuss that today. I'm going to look at St. Francis in greater depth next week, but today we just want to concentrate on the message that St. Francis is sharing with us, and keep in mind that one of our greatest leaders, Dr. Martin Luther King, also advocated peaceful change. But right now, let's hear from the energetic realm and St. Francis. And he begins, I, St. Francis, stand with you now during this time of turmoil. I understand the need to make change, and I understand the cost of peace. Peace, acceptance of each other, and genuine love for yourself and for each other will cost you everything. It will cost you every negative thought and feeling. It will take from you all thoughts of superiority and privilege, and it will reduce you in number from many to one. Peace cannot be born from hate, from fear, or from any form of separatist feeling. Peace can only come to the one who has laid down their weapons, to those who have surrendered their pain and hurt and loss, to those who recognize that violence cannot bring peace, justice, or equality. The peaceful heart knows the joy of forgiveness. The peaceful heart does not confuse forgiveness with acceptance. No, the wise heart of peace knows that forgiving the confusion in another helps themselves because their own, I'm sorry, the wise heart of peace knows that forgiving the confusion in another helps themselves release their own fear as it provides a beacon for others to do the same. Forgiveness does not agree with what is wrong. It keeps its focus on what is right. So, what is right in a world where brutal acts have been perpetrated against another? Love is right, forgiveness for their blindness and unenlightened state, and the resolve to do what is right even though it may be difficult to do so. This means you set your standards high. You uphold peace for all even when you are provoked to offer a violent response. You offer love to all even when hatred appears to be justified, and you shine the light of truth into every heart. I, St. Francis, stand with you now as you choose the high road, the right road, the road of love and peace. And I remind you that you are not separate beings divided by class, color, or creed, but one being united by the power of love. It's love that's going to lead us into the promised land, the enlightened state, the place where we can feel good each and every day. It is love, peace, and joy. That is the exalted state that God is inviting us into, the place where we can join with the divine and truly experience alignment. And it is to this place that I invite you today. We must lay down our differences. We must stop at looking at each other as though we are somehow separate. Instead, let us gaze upon the heart and find all that is good within each person. And then let us do our part to help each one awaken and arise by showing them what is good within them. Please stop focusing on what is wrong. Please stop pointing out what every other person is doing wrong, and instead take a moment each and every day to find what's right with yourself, what is right with others, what is right with the world, and shout it from the rooftops. Remind each person that you pass that they are a beautiful being. Remind each other that they are wonderful beings, brilliant, magnificent beings, and capable of wonderful acts of good. From this place of love, we will find our peaceful center, and we will be successful at changing the world from a world of darkness to a world where light reigns. We are in a powerful time of ascension, and the dark underbelly is being exposed. But it's necessary to see the corruption so that we can rise above it. But please do not allow yourself to devolve into destruction and violence and hatred and prejudice. Stay in that place of ascension that you have worked so hard to gain. Stay in your place of love, joy, and peace, and share that state with every other person with whom you come into contact with. The ascended state means that you are going to have to lead others, that you have chosen to be a leader in the spiritual community, and that means that you must lead with love. Shower each person you meet with love. Shower yourself with love. Remind yourself just how wonderful you are as you remind everyone else. And it is in this way of love, joy, and peace that we not only enter the promised land together, but we allow each and every person to enter that promised land with us if they too will choose love, joy, and peace. It's worth it. You're worth it. The world is worth it. And now what we must do is be the people that we came here to be, the united beings, and lead the way for all. Thank you all for being here with me this week, for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, for commenting on these videos. As more and more of us enter into the place where we understand all that is available, life is going to be so much easier and more loving. I can't do it by myself. You won't be able to do it by yourself either. But together, we are able to shine the light on all of the darkness and to truly make a difference in the world. So thank you for being here with me. As always, if you feel that you want to dive deeper into your spiritual journey, or you just want to find more about the energetic realm and the spiritual world and how you can participate, then I invite you to join me on my website, marciamartinthehearthealer.com or mmhearthealer.com. You will find many, many free resources, so much help and information there for you. But if you want to dive deeper, if you feel that you don't want to do it on your own, you have a choice. You can join me in my community. Just click on the community tab on my website, or you can sign up to work with me individually. Whatever is going to fulfill you the most is what I want you to receive. So there are free resources in abundance, and there is also help for you that would require a financial commitment. It's all there. It's up to you. And I am grateful that you have shared this time with me now. So, I am wishing you a most beautiful, joyous, and peaceful week. And until next time, I'm sending you all my love.